English, my moment of truth, the debate. This time, we're going to give you the value creation debate, which is designed to give you a chance, give you an opportunity, rather, to think on your own. And should Aiken, the first grade holders, take on ICEE, Intercultural English Exchange? Why this topic? Japan Times gave us an article that almost stopped my heart. Hey, is Aiken doing learners more harm than good? Well, Aiken is the king of the English test, the gold standard of English proficiency certification test. Now it's under hot seat. So should ICEE, it's an entirely different exam. They should take on Aiken, or Aiken should take on ICEE. It's going to be a very controversial topic. This excites me no end. Let the debate begin. Affirmative rock. The Aiken has an identity problem now. Validity, any proof that it works? Isn't English dead? English on paper, paper on pencil test. The ICEE Intercultural English Exchange is quite opposite. It's complete opposite. It's sort of like Davy, a little David, taking on a huge Goliath. It's very shocking in the eyes of many English learners here in Japan, because the Aiken is such a big organization. 90 million people have taken the test for the past 30 years. See? ICEE, or the wave English, goes much longer. Before that, even better staying power. But it's now time for the Aiken people, or Aikenites, to have a second look at reality. Negative win. Negative win. Why has Aiken been around for such a long time? It's almost here to stay. Everyone understands Aiken, the power of it. It is a passport to success in life and a ticket to well-paying jobs in Japan. Number two, is English just for communication? That the Gaijin people, I wouldn't say Gaijin people, foreign native speakers, they poo-poo the idea that Aiken English is the English. They say far from it. Does it communicate? So they always stress the fact that the communication has to come first. But the question is the communication everything? They should pay more attention to the basic grammar and logic and translation. Why hasn't 28 years old ICEE made it to the mainstream? ICEE is still minor, a little Goliath, a little David rather, taking on a huge Goliath. Why? He hasn't made it big in Japan yet. Negative rock. The paper-oriented Aiken is too big to fail. No matter how many people criticize Aiken, Aiken is still alive and kicking. There's still life in the old dog. So it's still powerful, even under attack from the Japan Times and other native teachers of English here in Japan. Well, ICEE, despite the fact that it's oral, it's too small to fail, but it still has staying power, extending over 30 years, and it's still almost negligible as compared with the Aiken. Aiken is big, it's power, authority, because the teachers, your senpai always take Aiken, you know. So the ICEE is way back in the shadows, but Remember that always the devil is in the details. Affirmative wind. I've listened very hard to the negative contention. Let me ask them a couple of questions. First, can ICEE be objective on the communicative skills? There is no such thing as objectivity. There's no 100% objectivity. And negative said that too small to fail, explain. And oral skills are the grassroots test, the grassroots people, like Aiken and TOEIC, the guys like them, but come and go. Sometimes any test that rise might end up falling. By the same token, most examinations come and go, whereas ICEE, because of its size so small, and has been able to survive. Number three, with the merger work, the Goliath and David, will they be able to emerge with each other? Which I doubt. But at the same time, the opposite attract each other. Sometimes they dispel each other, like according to the principle of magnetism, the logic of magnetism goes, two things, entirely different things, attract each other. So I don't think that there's any reason why they shouldn't merge with each other. Affirmative fire. The Aiken enjoys the social recognition. Everybody knows it. Well, ICEE has the longest staying power, next only to the Cambridge examination. Cambridge exam, the toughest test it is, was born in 1913. ICEE isn't that old, but still it's much older than STEP Aiken. So these two could be neck and neck in terms of the quality, in terms of the staying power. So, and you know, the Kudu has been able to maintain the quality of communicative English, oral English language. So I think there's no reason why they shouldn't complement with each other. Negative fire, chemistry can't work. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have put the question mark here. Strike it out. And even the home sometimes nods. So strike it out. ICEE is a half private matsuri, while the Aiken is a half public tester. Ura-omote cultures should stay equal but separate. They look similar, but they're totally dissimilar. So they should be treated as equal but separate. Why do they have to shake hands with each other? They are going separate ways. That's the way it should be. So the Omote English is a paper pencil test authorized by the government or the education ministry, whereas oral tests are totally privately owned. My kind of English, communication language, my English isn't perfect. It isn't anywhere near perfect, I give you that. But maybe I can hold my own when it comes to the communication English without going overseas, without going through the test. By the way, I took the STEP test, Aiken test once. I've got EQ hold. So I'm not in position to criticize Aiken. So I'm on the, sitting on the middle, on the fence, looking at both sides, straddling the differences. Negative water. What if the ICEers affect Aikenites? ICEites is biculturalists, whereas the Aikenites are bilingualists. The better English, the better. My theory is the more culturally communicative is the better. Aboriginal AK English will be contaminated by the viral ICEE Englishes. I'm not talking about Canadian English, British, American English. We're talking about Englishes. There's no reason why you shouldn't stick to the Japanese English, because the Indians stick to their kind of English. I wonder why Japanese people speak such a funny English, and that's English. So don't laugh at funny accents of other countries, but there have to be Englishes. What counts most is the native speaker's pronunciation. It is just the Englishes carrying the different cultural backgrounds. So if you stick to the ICEE English, the whole thing will be more global, but at the same time, it's going to spread like a viral, spread like a pretty fire. It's going viral. That's going to destroy the harmony of English language education in Japan. So I should say my answer to that is negative. Affirmative water, hands off on English language education. The Aiken dinosaur will be hit by the huge comet from the outer space, from the competitive organization like a TOEIC, TOEFL, and GTech, Venice-based, and other different Cambridge examinations. A lot of people will keep hitting ACAN like comets, but here's ICEE is going to play a white knight running in interference and protest of ACAN. I don't think it's a bad chemistry. The chemistry will work between us. And here's a story about the Neanderthal extinction, the grade 1 test that shows Neanderthal went extinct because of the poor communication. The time for Cro-Magnon people coming in here. ICEE is going to play the role of a Cro-Magnonites. 判定、今日この問題はね、私も英検受けて1級を取ったことがあるんですけども、英検に対して批判されるとものすごい気が傷つくんですよね。例えばこの前、沖縄に行ってきました。沖縄タイムズで金城さんという人が日本人の英語がどんどん落ちてきた。それは喋ることに力入ってるから文法を真面目にせえということで、沖縄の人は英検が大好きなんです。そこから一歩も離れない。トイック関係ない。コミュニケーション関係ないんですよね。英語そのものが人格と考えているというところで、私も私の部下からグレード英検1級の問題を聞きました。この中で面白い英語がありましたね。要するにネアンデルタルズエクステンションってなんでネアンデルが崩れてたらコミュニケーションが全然なかったんですよ。それでクロマニオンが入ってきて変えたと。今も同じような問題ですよね。ネアンデルタルの、一つの英語からコミュニケーションのオーラルのテストを私が始めて、これ30年ぐらい前にね。でこれを入ってきたから本来ならば英検1級は ICEE に挑戦してもらいたい。私の本ではそうです。しかしディベートそのものに限定しますと、私は今アリをやってるんです。アリっていうのは伝統ですね。これやっぱりね、英検は壊しちゃいけないなという、みんなそれから大勢が英検を支持しています。英検の人も電話をしました。真剣に答えてました。そうやって見たら伝統を守るという意味で、やっぱりこの今は私の心を鬼にしてね、ICEEよりも英検は日本の伝統である守りたまえということで否定になりました。否定の勝ち。The way of English coming up.